Picture this. You're one of the greatest filmmakers alive. You've got studios throwing millions at you, actors begging to work with you, and fans worldwide hanging on your every word. But instead of riding that wave forever, you choose to walk away. That's exactly what Quentin Tarantino is doing. And the reason why will blow your mind. See, everyone thinks they know why Tarantino's retiring after 10 films. Oh, he wants to go out on top. He's being artistic. It's just a publicity stunt. But here's what nobody's talking about. After digging deep into insider reports, leaked interviews, and behind-the-scenes drama, I discovered the real reason Tarantino is abandoning Hollywood. And it's way darker than you think. This isn't about artistic integrity. This isn't about legacy protection. This is about a man who's watched the medium he loves die in real time, and he refuses to be part of its funeral. I'm about to pull back the curtain on Hollywood's biggest retirement mystery. We'll expose the psychological obsession driving his decision, the industry betrayal that broke his heart, and the shocking moment he realized his career had an expiration date. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why Tarantino's retirement isn't just about him. It's a warning about what's happening to cinema itself, the legacy obsession. Let's start with what everyone gets wrong about Tarantino's retirement. Most people think he's just being precious about his filmography, like he's some perfectionist who can't handle making one bad movie. But that's not it at all. Tarantino has what I call director's curse syndrome. And once you understand this psychological trap, everything makes sense. Here's how his brain works. He views a filmmaker's career like a grade point average. Every single movie either raises or destroys your overall score. And here's the kicker. One terrible late career film can erase the impact of 3 masterpieces. This isn't paranoia, this is pattern recognition. Tarantino has studied film history obsessively. He's watched legendary directors like Billy Wilder end their careers with disasters like Buddy Buddy. He's seen William Wyler's reputation tarnished by the liberation of L.B. Jones. In his own words, most directors have horrible last movies. Usually their worst movies are their last movies. But here's where it gets really dark. Tarantino doesn't just fear making a bad movie, he's terrified of becoming what he calls one of those out-of-touch, old, limp, flaccid directors. And he's calculated the exact cost of failure. One of those movies cost you 3 good movies as far as your rating is concerned. Think about that. In Tarantino's mind, The Hateful Eight getting mixed reviews could theoretically cancel out Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill, and Django Unchained combined. That's not artistic perfectionism, that's mathematical paranoia, the digital apocalypse. But the legacy obsession is just the surface level. The real story goes much deeper. In 2012, something happened that broke Tarantino's heart. And most people completely missed it. The film industry officially transitioned from 35mm film to digital projection. For most directors, this was just a technical upgrade. Better quality, lower costs, easier distribution. For Tarantino, it was the death of cinema itself. During a Hollywood Reporter roundtable, he made a confession that revealed everything. I despise that transition. For me, even digital projection signifies the end. It's finished. He didn't just say he preferred film. He said digital cinema was glorified television in public. This wasn't hyperbole. This was a man watching his religion die. See, Tarantino's entire creative identity is built on reverence for classic filmmaking. The golden age of Hollywood, the gritty 1970s exploitation cinema, the tactile chemical process of celluloid capturing light. When the industry went digital, it didn't just change the technology, it severed the spiritual connection between modern filmmaking and everything Tarantino worshipped about the medium. Imagine being a master painter, and then watching the art world decide that only digital art counts anymore. That's what happened to Tarantino. His retirement isn't just about making 10 great films, it's about escaping before he's forced to adapt to a world he philosophically rejects. The age trap. Now here's where the story gets really personal. In 2022, Tarantino did something he'd never done before. He admitted he was getting old. During a CNN interview, he confessed, "I don't want to become this old man who's out of touch when already I'm feeling a bit like an old man out of touch when it comes to the current movies that are out right now." This hit me like a truck when I first read it, because Tarantino has always been the guy who knew everything about every movie ever made. He was the walking encyclopedia of cinema. But suddenly he's looking at modern films and feeling lost. He's watching Marvel dominate the box office. He's seeing TikTok stars become movie leads. He's witnessing audiences choose franchise content over original storytelling. And for the first time in his life, he doesn't understand what's happening. Tarantino genuinely believes that directing is a young man's game. The hunger that drove him in the 1990s, that desperate need to break through, has been replaced by comfort and success. It's like boxer Marvin Hagler once said, "It's tough to get out of bed to do road work at 5 a.m. when you've been sleeping in silk pajamas." Tarantino is sleeping in silk pajamas now, and he knows it. The personal pivot. But then something unexpected happened that changed everything. Tarantino got married. He became a father. Suddenly, the man who used to travel the world making movies realized he didn't want to be a globe-trotting filmmaker anymore. In a Rolling Stone interview, he painted a completely different vision for his future. "I feel like this is the moment to lean more towards the literary side, which is beneficial as a new father and husband. This wasn't a backup plan. This was a genuine passion that predated his fatherhood." Tarantino wants to become what he calls a man of letters, writing novels, essays, and literary criticism about cinema rather than making films. He doesn't want to be shooting in Berlin or Sri Lanka while his kid is taking first steps at home. He wants to be a present father and a homebody. The retirement isn't just about preserving his legacy, it's about choosing family over fame. The movie critic meltdown. Now here's where the insider story gets absolutely wild. In August 2025, Tarantino did something that shocked Hollywood. He publicly abandoned The Movie Critic, the film that was supposed to be his 10th and final project. But here's the crazy part. The script was already finished. He told Deadline, "No one's particularly anticipating this project. I can tackle it whenever I choose. It's already completed in writing." So why kill a finished script for your final film? Because when Tarantino tried converting it from a TV miniseries into a feature film, something went wrong creatively. In his words, "I decided to see if writing it as a film would yield better results. And I thought, oh, this is going to be the movie." But then it didn't turn out that way. This reveals everything about Tarantino's mindset. He's not just chasing a legacy number, he's willing to kill projects that don't meet his impossible standards, even if they're written and ready to shoot. The number 10 matters less than making sure that 10th film is genuinely exceptional. The Scorsese comparison. Here's what makes Tarantino's approach so unique. Martin Scorsese represents the opposite philosophy. At 80+ years old, he's still directing, telling Deadline, "I want to tell stories, but there's no more time." Scorsese is racing against mortality to create as much as possible before death. Tarantino is racing to create as little as necessary before irrelevance kills his work. It's a profound philosophical divide. Scorsese fears he won't tell all his stories. Tarantino fears he'll tell stories nobody wants. The control obsession. So what's the real truth behind Tarantino's retirement? It's not really about retiring. It's about maintaining absolute control over his legacy. By limiting his output, he ensures that every film is exceptional. He exits on his terms before age forces him out. His legacy remains sealed with no chance for late career disasters, and film history remembers him at his peak, not his decline. At its core, Tarantino's retirement plan is an act of ego and perfectionism masquerading as artistic principle. But here's the thing, that doesn't make it wrong. In an industry where most directors overstay their welcome, Tarantino's willingness to walk away might be the most auteur move of all. The final twist. But wait, there's one more secret nobody talks about. Tarantino has built escape hatches into his 10-film rule. He's admitted, "If the right project comes along after number 10, I won't not do it, just because I said I wouldn't." Plus, because he counts both Kill Bill films as one single project, he could theoretically make Kill Bill Volume 3 and claim it's still part of the Kill Bill universe. The 10-film limit is real, but it's not ironclad. What is ironclad is his refusal to make films that don't meet his artistic standard. So there you have it. The real reason Quentin Tarantino is walking away from Hollywood forever. It's not about artistic integrity, it's not about going out on top. It's about a man who's watched the medium he loves transform into something he doesn't recognize. Who's felt the hunger that made him great slowly fade away? Who's chosen family over fame and control over chaos? Tarantino's retirement is a warning. It's showing us what happens when an industry abandons the very things that made it special. The question isn't whether he'll stick to the 10-film rule. The real question is, what will his 10th film finally be? And when it arrives, will it live up to the impossible standard he's set for his entire legacy? We are committed to releasing 2 videos a week. Like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more film lore.